Sorry about that. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Okay. So in university life, the gods come in as infants because
Hmm.
and amnesia comes because you have to learn the rules of life by living life. Nobody teaches you the rules of life when you a toddler or uh, uh, elementary age child. You learn it by going through stuff, by surviving stuff, what work and what don't work, and experience being the best teacher. If you um, your life flash before your eyes, they call that dying while you awake. To die while you awake is to tune in to your higher consciousness. It's also known as the ego death, where you do shadow work in order to slay the ego.
Hmm.
And the shadow work in the occult is called purification of the ego. And the shadow work is the method by which the ego is purified. What's the side effect of the purification of the ego? What's called enlightenment or full consciousness of your God self working within the confines of your physical vessel. Once you're able to tap that energy, it activates what's called higher senses. Higher senses is governed from a different set of principles than 3D reality can be molded to. But you have to know how to translate the messages into the 3D by knowing a whole bunch of useless information. Then it becomes useful once you start seeing that everything is interconnected and related. And it's a unified field theory concept. And we are here because we agreed to collapse this reality at this point in time because we are the generators and the operators and destroyers of the realm. The spirits of the earth take on physical form in order to do what's in the best interest of the earth,
Right. I can
right?
see what you're saying now.
Mhm.
I'm trying to find some glasses that make sense here because for some reason my eyes is got smoke in them and they're not doing well. But yes. But what I'm trying to say, Rod, and I know the girls probably want to start. We started a mystical conversation, y'all, because this is just like open panel. We just talking about any
Whatever.
and everything. But at first, as a child, try not to make this long. You know, when you go to Sunday school, you believe in the mystical God. You believe in the every book, everything that's in the Bible, because you know you're a child until you put childish things away. So, but when the reality hits you that there's no man in the sky, then you sitting at the end of your bed talking about some, huh? So if everything in the Bible is just symbolic stories, so now your mind is starting to come to this, what the hell? Nothing makes
So
sense anymore.
Dr. Clark said, the way our ancestors used to teach,
Mm-hmm.
a story doesn't have to be true to carry
Right.
the truth in it.
Facts.
The Bible is a contract. It's a collection of stellar events told in parable form.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
Only in Revelations do you get the full astrological timetable of
Mm-hmm.
what's taking place. They told us that we was going through this condition for 6,000 years,
Right. But it really be
right?
something different. Mm-hmm.
So the 6,000 year mark is relative to what, right? Because they say Jesus wasn't even born until 7 AD. That's their biblical birth date. Well, how in the hell is it 7 AD and he ain't born yet? Because AD stand for Anno Domini, meaning after the dominion, and the implication is that they talking about the dominion of Christ. So he would have been born at the 0 point of the calendar on his birth being an AD BC flip, right? Beyond the history before Christ, the history after Christ. AD BC. BC stand for before Christ. BCE is before Christian era. So now you have a 2,000-year-old God that wasn't born at the 0 point of his birth. That's a problem. He got a 500-year-old name supposed to hold the same power with a name in a foreign language that he held in the original language. That don't even match. Then they confuse you with the stories because it's called the holy drama. That's the most raw, uncut form of the story you're going to ever find. But because we don't recognize they use it like they use viruses to make vaccine. You core out the inside and the body build antibodies to fight it off. Well, in the religion, they rewrote with the outline of the holy drama, but they wrote it coded with star alignments, with names that's actually titles that's telling you a thing. Like the book of Daniel is the book of the judgment of hell. Daniel means judgment of hell, or the Din Alel is the way of God. So Daniel is, or the judgment or the discernment of. But they tell us that Daniel's name was Daniel. But in the book, he was one of those three thrown in the furnace named Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they say it was Nebuchadnezzar who changed his name. Right? And the whole Nebuchadnezzar is a whole nother breakdown. But they chose to not translate certain titles and not translate certain words, but give them a transliteration in order to use that as a means to mislead you.
You know what? I never thought it was a misleading. I had to grow up to understand how to decipher it. But I don't want to go into a Bible thing. It was just the reality of knowing now that there's no man up in the sky. And that, you are your own God conscious. I mean, the reality of the fantasy not being real. That was my breaking point, I think. Where now you got to understand that you are just a form of nature. Just a particle of the earth. And just like you said, it had to happen this way in order to make the earth work.
Yeah.
You
know, so we are, I be hearing people talking about we in a reincarnation trap and all this BS, right? We not in no reincarnation trap. That's BS. We not trapped here. We came here on our own free will. Ain't nobody trapped here. They talking about don't go into the light. That's a soul trap. Bullshit.
I just think that you ain't got no choice. You just a part of nature, and if you're gonna come back, that's because nature just replenishes everything that dies. I don't think you get a choice. I think that you just reincarnate. But that's, hey, sister, looking beautiful. Hey.
Did Dulcie get to go yet?
No, not really.
No, you can skip me.
Oh, damn.
We had started on this mystical little conversation, but there is a lot more that we could be talking about. But we were kind of talking until you got on here type thing. And
okay. All right. Well. Hey Rod, what's up? What's up, chat?
What's
How y'all doing? How y'all all right, so let's turn this up a little bit, okay? I have a question in regards to the goings on. Okay. So you know, what does the age of Aquarius mean, right? Since we are in the age of Aquarius right now. And what does that mean? And then I have a follow-up question in regards to what's going on with Diddy, okay? And looking at Aquarius, or you can kind of just freak out on that.
Just like you got zodiac signs, Scorpio, Pisces, you got ages that correspond to each one of the signs of the zodiac. Aquarius correspond to the zodiacal sign of the Aquarians. And so when we talk about the age of Aquarius, we coming out of Pisces going into Aquarius. The age of Pisces was the last age we was under, and it started to transfer over. It wasn't fully complete until we had what's called the Great Hamerta, which is the alignment to the center of the galaxy, which you have them every so often because that's the point of the reset in this construct. And the age of Aquarius is ushering in the age of knowing. The same description for Aquarius zodiac is the same description for the new age that we going into, where you know in your head a lot, but now you're gonna be having answers to when you in your head. You're gonna be able to see things that you didn't know you could see, and you're gonna have to be prepared over a period of time in order to be able to function when the full-fledged energies of the Aquarian age starts to take over. So the Aquarian age is the next zodiac sign of Earth that Earth is about to go through.
Okay. And how would you link that? So do you keep up with pop culture? I'm sure you do, right?
Yeah, you can't miss it.
Right, exactly. So what does that, so what are your thoughts around this whole expose of Diddy, for example, right? So now, you know, of course, he's in the headlines, making news, this, that, and the third. What do you think about that? And what is the bigger message? What would you say to someone who's like, so what does all of this mean?
All of the iconic figures that's been doing nefarious things to hold their positions in the culture has to fall from their positions of power, because there's a new generation of children that's about to become adults that's going to be moving into those positions by birthright, but they still gonna have to put in their work. And when you see guys like what's going on with Diddy, it's another thing that they not showing you that's going on with Diddy too. Right? You got to remember, he not the big fish. He not even the fish in the middle. He just over the bottom of the pond. We down here with the scum, right? And Diddy, he running around with the crustaceans, with the shrimps and the lobsters, right? So the big fish, the sharks and the whales, felt that he was too big for his britches. But the chain reaction is what you're looking for, because the people that's been financing Diddy, everybody know Clive Davis was financing Diddy parties. That's not even the secret, and it's what you call an open secret. Everybody talk about it, but nobody don't act on that information. The same with Larry Cohen, Jimmy Iovine. They all the same. They all in bed with the same MFs. They all work for Israeli Secret Service, Mossad, and they are all operatives to maintain a systems of financial power over the organic people of the Americas. So the pop culture is showing you the disassembling of the entirety of the system by taking key figures off the game board.
Go ahead, Dulcie.
You there, Dulcie?
No, you can go, Sister Freedom.
Okay. Okay, speaking on Diddy. Mm. With all of the things that they are saying that Diddy has done, would you find him to be, gosh, coming from, well, he. I'm trying to think of a word to use for a person that has done the things that they are saying that Diddy has done, because it's, the things that he is been said to have been done is off. You know what I'm saying? Um, Devilish, evil, satanic. Um,
Twisted, demented.
yes. I mean, I was just wondering for a good word to use. I mean, it's like people, like in this time frame, everybody's like turning on it. Why wasn't it happening? Do you see why it wasn't happening before on this level?
Hmm.
And why? I mean, because now they put R. Kelly down. It seems. Do you see a chase now with the Copper Man? Or yeah, because see, why was it happening? Why wasn't it happening before? But Diddy's been doing this for years.
I think that they got progressively out of control over time. I don't think he been having the full-fledged Diddy party as it became. I think it morphed into that over a period of time. And early on, it was cute to the people that was visiting them and attending them. But then it turned into something else, right? So it's a whole lot of stuff in this power dynamic, because this is what you're looking at. You're looking at a power dynamic playing out. You're not looking at um a man making a mistake and the system stepping in. You're looking at a changing of the guard in the entire power structure on the planet. The pop culture icons is just one group of people that's going to be removed from their positions of power and glory. You got to remember, as soon as he got indicted on the same day, the whole 23andMe board resigned. There's a whole lot of other stuff going on too, right? And all of these things is for the people to be aware that is somebody somewhere taking these people down in real time,
Mm-hmm.
and Diddy is just one of them,
One of them.
right? But you gotta remember, he ain't been convicted of nothing,
Right.
right?
That's the things that they are saying, meaning allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me also say this: when Dots asked you about the zodiac signs, so
Aquarian.
age of Pisces, right? Did you find that to be the age of confusion?
Yeah, Pisces is the sign of the fish. The fish is underwater,
Mm-hmm.
but because the fish underwater, he don't know that the water not air. How we perceive air, right? Even we underwater too. We fish swimming around underwater, but we don't realize that the atmosphere is full of water vapor. It's just a different form of the water. And the age of Pisces is the age of belief, because you can't quite clear see what you're looking at because your head underwater.
I like
Right.
that. I like that.
So the age of Aquarius, the wind is blowing the water. What's the symbol for Aquarius? The one carrying the water jug, right? And the fish is in the water, so it's in reverse, right? In order for it to be water for the fish, the Aquarius had to pull the water out, but it's playing in reverse. The fish came first, the Piscean age. Now we go into the Aquarian age. They put the water back in the vessel. Now the fish on dry land.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
It's symbolism. So now your head ain't underwater no more. Right? Your head in the clouds. Because that's what happened to the water when it evaporated, turned into the cloud. Right? Airhead, airy, mental, energy. Right? All that's coming in on Aquarius.
Mm-hmm. Even do you think that I'm sorry, Daz, the aquarium is even bringing the woman into a certain position?
Yeah, because the
Because
water barrier is not a man. The water
right.
barrier is not a man. They call him. They say that he the one carried the water, but the original water barrier was a woman with a long dress on dumping out a Greco-Roman pitcher or a giant vase full of water. A couple
So
years
the
ago, they had a phenomenon.
because the Aquarian age is knowing and coming into more information, like coming into more nourishment, more
Mhm.
fruit, in other words.
Mhm.
So I was wondering, was you going to say that that's like bringing the woman is now going to probably take